It's Kathy Lake here, UK designer for Bello's Designs, and today I wanted to show you how I created this underwater scene card using one of the Brusho backgrounds that I made on a previous video. And the colours that I used for the Brusho backgrounds were ultramarine, sea green, a bit of turquoise and a little bit of lemon. So I've got the background already cut to 4 inches by 6 inches. I've got a background paper, a card that I've cut to 4.25 by 6.25 inches. Don't worry about not reaching the edges on here because I'm actually going to ink around the edges anyway to give it a darker look. The colour for the one that I'm doing today is going to be slightly lighter than this one. As you can see, this one's got a lot more turquoise in it and this has got more sea green. But it will be the same picture, just slightly lighter. So I've got those backgrounds. I have a card that once folded measures 5 inches by 7 inches that I'll put those on. And the stamps I'm using today are the Lavinia 620 Flow, the Lavinia 619 Arlo, the Lavinia 626 Sea Algae, the Lavinia 631 Lavinia Urchins, and the Lavinia 439 the Sea Bubbles. Now, unfortunately, this is quite an old stamp. It's one of the early stamps I bought, and I lost my piece of acetate. But it's the bubbles that look like that. I don't know if you can see there. So it's just a set of bubbles. Okay, so they're the stamps that I'm going to be using. So let's get started. I'm just going to bend my card a little bit because while it's been drying, it's curled up a little bit. That's fine. Right. So we're going to start with Flow. I'm going to stamp. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you. I'm actually using VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink for stamping. For the edges, I'm going to either use the Salty Ocean or the Mermaid Lagoon to do around the edges of there. I'm going to be colouring the fishes in some Posca pens, and the background at the bottom with the sea algae and the urchins, I'm actually going to be using the Derwent Inktense pencils for those. So you need a glass of water and a fine paintbrush. I also have a gel pen and a pencil, just in case I need to touch up any bits that don't stamp as well. So I'm going to start with Flow. I'm going to put Flow over there. That's good. And then I'm going to get Arlo. I don't know if Arlo is a male or a female fish, if indeed you do get male and female fish. But it's interesting how the male species of most creatures are more attractive than the females. That's apart from humans, of course. Obviously, the women are much more attractive in humans. And we're going to put Arlo just behind Flow there. Lovely. And next I'm going to do the not sea urchin, sorry, it's called sea algae. And I used in the sea algae, there's 2 different sizes, and I used the smaller one. There's another one that's sort of probably about another third bigger than that one. So it's just a small one that I want to use for this. Put the first one there. Second one comes down a little bit, so they're not all the same height. Okay. And the last one will come a little bit lower. There we go, that's perfect. And now I'm going to use the sea urchins. These urchins are great in the autumn time because you can use them as pumpkins. I used them last year and coloured them in different oranges, shades of oranges, and had them outside a little cottage and made it look like a row of pumpkins outside. So that's quite versatile. But today they're going to be sea urchins. Let's just get a wipe. It's got a little bit on my acrylic block there. And then I'm going to press those down there. Lovely. And the last thing for stamping today will be the sea bubbles. You can see this is a very old, well-used stamp because it's gone a bit discoloured, but I still love it. And there's the bubbles for that one. And then we'll use some bubbles the other way for Arlo. Great. Right. Next, I'm going to be using the Inktense pencils. I'll probably speed this up a little bit because it's a bit boring watching somebody colour all the time. Just going to sharpen my pencil now because I just noticed it's a bit going a bit flat. That's better. So I'm going to do the sea urchin in the lime green, and I'm going to do underneath the sea urchins in lime green, and then I'm going to do different colours on the actual urchins themselves. Now I'm just going to add some water on a brush just to make the colours a bit more vibrant. Right, now I'm going to colour all of the urchins, and then I'm just going to go over them with a paintbrush to make them a little bit more vibrant as well. that's all coloured. And now I'm going to do the Posca pens on the fish. So Arlo is going to have lots of different, it's going to be a multicolour fish. Let me just turn this over. It's looking a bit messy. I'm turning it upside down because those are still wet and I don't want to put my hand on it. Being a left-hander, I don't want to put my hand on top of there and then ruin my urchins. So I'm going to do this one upside down. Using my white pen, I'm just going to go around into the bubbles. And then I'm going to use my blending brush, and I think I'm going to use Salty Ocean. Glue it onto the backing card. As you can see, Brushos get quite messy on the other side too. And there we have it, a little fishy themed card. So as I say, not quite as dark as that one, but equally as nice. Thank you so much for watching. Before we go, can I just remind everybody that we have a couple of groups on Facebook called Del Bello's Design Lounge for everything Lavinia. So it's Del Bello's Lavinia Design Lounge. And we also have Del Bello's Lounge a la carte for all other products that Del Bello stock apart from Lavinia. So I'd love to see you in those groups and share your work. There's some fantastic people in there with very creative ideas, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope to catch up with you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.